when they tell you.
Welcome, New Orleans, and wherever you might be. This is Baldy and the Blonde. I am Michelle Godin, joined every week by Tom Coates, my host. I am not the bald one. And you can catch all of our shows at baldyandtheblonde.com. Today, we are going to be addressing just a wild array of things and hope to give you some insight on what cuckoo stuff is going on in the country. And some of it's really good, too. How are you today, Mr. Baldy?
Oh, well, I've had a rough day. I got up at 3:30 this morning because I had what they call a minor medical procedure. But let me tell you, I think it's the most major minor medical procedure you can have. And I'm resting uncomfortably, shall we say. I'm not doing so good. I thought I was going to be in the studio today.
Yes.
But I forgot my procedure I was thinking it was yesterday, and it was today, of course, Wednesday. So I have to be here by phone, but at least I'm able to be here by phone. But I got to just say this, the doctor who did it, he came in all smiles, and when he was done, there's a famous line spoken by Hamlet about his uncle, and he says, "One may smile and be a villain." And that was my doctor. I'll leave it at that.
I'm just going to say I'll have no questions on this topic, but I suspect that most men would be in agreement with you.
Yeah.
Something like that.
It was rough. I am having a bad day.
I understand. Well, I'll try to do everything I can to make it easier. Anyway, so I thought we could look at some of the crazy going on in the country. And so many things to choose from, so little time. So much tyranny, so little time. But there are things that are definitely looking better. For example, I am thinking that we might get some indictments of some of these people who have played fast and loose and have just been a disgrace in their chosen professions as senators, FBI members, CIA, whatever, supposed to be public servants, just engineering false prosecutions, wasting their time on nonsense. Meanwhile, the borders were open. God only knows how many terrorists got in, but it looks like some of them, especially the shifty Schiff, might be going down. And
wouldn't that be something?
Wouldn't that be something?
What?
Shifty,
Okay.
And you and I haven't even talked about this because I believe I listened to some of this after we last talked, but he has just been so busted by a Democrat member of his committee who has been complaining since 2017 that Shifty Schiff knowingly ordered the release of confidential documents for the sole purpose of trying to impede the presidency of the duly elected President Trump. Again, as I always say, don't care what you think about him. He was duly elected by the people. So it is not about just your TDS psychosis. He was elected for a reason, and primarily to close the border and try to straighten other things out. But this guy, the shifty, he's in trouble. He's in trouble. However,
I hope so.
Well, the problem is that the U.S. attorneys have a tradition of doing nothing when the person who is committing the crime is a Democrat. If it's a Republican, right, you better not even post a meme, a stupid meme. For example, that guy who posted the meme saying, "Oh, don't vote for Hillary on Tuesday. Text in your votes on Wednesday." And he actually got like a 9-month prison sentence.
Yeah,
right.
And nobody was fooled by it.
No one
meant to be fooled by it.
The prosecutor could not put one witness on the stand to say, "Oh, I didn't vote because I believe that." And that's the kind of crap they go after conservatives with. Meanwhile, you can be Adam Schiff and literally, flagrantly abuse your position as the Intelligence Committee chair, pretend there's a Russian, there's evidence that the President of the United States is in cahoots with Russia when it was a lie and it was fake and it cost us hundreds of millions of dollars and divided the country and took the I mean, just the waste of our FBI and law enforcement time on January 6th, Russia collusion, just crap. While the Chinese are stealing us blind, can shut down our infrastructure, make all of our prescription drugs. Well, honey, we got nothing to say about that. That's just fine. That's just fine.
Well,
we're very busy.
If there are not indictments out of this, then when will there ever be? It needs to be now.
Well, and that's had we had Matt Gaetz, don't you think people would already be in jail? I don't know about Pam Bondi, man. I do not. I don't know about her.
Yeah, Gaetz. Gaetz seemed like the real deal. We'll never know because he was never given that chance, but he did sure seem like it.
Yeah, he does seem like it. And maybe they'll give him,
That's why he's not in position, I imagine.
Well, that's it. And as we say every week, but look at our two rock stars in the cabinet, former Democrats, real Democrats, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, not kidding around, not halfway. I mean, Tulsi Gabbard and RFKJ, come on. And they are rock stars. I mean.
Yeah, but if there's no indictments out of this stuff, because it is so obvious, if at least even half of what we're reading is true, then these guys, they absolutely need to be indicted, charged, and imprisoned.
Well, let's talk a little bit about Russiagate, because it's so overwhelming. It's really unbelievable, and I really am working to come up with, and we haven't talked about this yet, but Tom and I, in our real jobs as paralegal and lawyer, we have to explain difficult concepts to juries and to lay people that are legal concepts. And what we do, and I think we really do a good job and get great results, is we do PowerPoint presentations. We also have done, in fact, I should have said this many times ago, but if you belong to some kind of civic group or church group or school group or something, we like to do presentations to educate people, and we are happy, within reason. I mean, we're not going to fly to North Dakota, but we're happy to put our presentations on a wide-ranging topics. But anyway, I'm trying to put something together, on this.
We did several of those when in the first go round of this show. We did, I don't know how many we did, maybe
a bunch.
6 or 8 to
two
Republican groups, and we seem to have got pretty good feedback. So I would like to do those again.
Yeah.
If anybody would like it.
It's good. And so I'm gonna really work to simplify the Russiagate, Russia collusion, how it ties in with Hillary's emails, how these great pardons and look the other way always goes the Democrat way. And always goes the elite way. And the regular American would be like thrown under a jail for taking a picture of his submarine to show to his kid, right? And I'm using that because it's a real example. Meanwhile, this son of a gun, Jim Comey, is literally leaking and hiring a Columbia professor to leak too. And he hired the Columbia professor. Part of his job, in addition to leaking, I just heard this, was to help manage his image. I mean, this guy is an insufferable narcissist pig, and I cannot wait for him and Shifty Schiff to share a jail cell.
Let me ask
awesome.
You this. Right before we went on the air, like a minute before, I was finally able to look at my email to see if you had sent me anything, because we haven't even talked since, I guess, yesterday morning or something. We couldn't even prepare for today's show.
No.
But you sent something quoting, it was like Mike Benz had posted something.
Yeah, I want to talk about that. Yeah.
Yes, don't forget that one. And
maybe let's do that now. That's a good. Look, we're coming up on a break in a minute and 40 seconds. So let me see how long. I think maybe we'll introduce it before we play the clip. But basically, I think we should wait because it takes too long to explain that.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, and I can't get to that email right now. It went down. But you know which email I'm talking about, right?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I have it printed. And I'll just say a lot of this is in it's something I posted today on Facebook, too. A lot of this is in an article, and you don't have to write it down right now, but if you want to, it's kind of fun. It's an article about Mike Benz and his discovery, and it's called New Links Emerge Between Russia Hoax and Biden Censorship Regime. And it's just kind of funny because when I went to get the article, I wanted to see what Google would show. Oh, Google shows all kinds of bizarre things that have nothing to do. Literally, that is the title of the article, and you can't find it. Whereas on DuckDuckGo, immediately it pops up because I even had the author's name. You still can't get it on Google. And it's funny because that's kind of partly what Benz is talking about. But the other thing he's talking about is this absolutely smoking gun, which really shows that they were not only lying but covering up for Hillary's emails, and they were going to call this a critical infrastructure threat so that they could use extraordinary means to censor. And when we come back, we'll get into that. This is Baldy and the Blonde. Check us out on baldyandtheblonde.com, at baldyblonde on X. Welcome back to Baldy and the Blonde. I'm Michelle Godin here with Tom Coates. Tom's remote today, having undergone a painful procedure from which he is recovering, and we will say no more. We were talking before the break about an article that, and just a whole a series of discoveries made by Mike Benz, B-E-N-Z. I highly recommend following him, and also John Solomon, a reporter doing just great work on the Russiagate hoax and the dastardly deeds that the federal government was performing against not only Donald Trump, but all of us who objected to the censorship regime, the mandatory shots, the open border, and everything we voted against. And the press tries to always just make that, oh, it's Trump. No. It's all of us with our will being thwarted actively by the intelligence agencies in the United States of America. And that is disgusting and revolting. So, anyway, Tom, did you get a chance to read that on the break?
The email that you sent, I was able to call it back up.
Okay. The article.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to go over the article a little bit.
No. Okay. So I was looking at an email sent from that dude Leonard Bernardo that you sent me. That's a great one. We should get to that one when you can.
Let's start with that then. So part of the article that is being suppressed by Google addresses a discovery made within the documents that have been uncovered recently by the heroic, brave Tulsi Gabbard. And this is an article from a guy who works for Soros, I think, if I have it straight now. And it clearly states HRC, Hillary, approves somebody named Julia's idea about Trump and Russia hackers hampering U.S. elections. Okay, so it's Hillary's idea. And it's Julia's idea that Hillary has approved. Yes.
Yeah.
And here's the motive. That should distract people from her own missing emails, especially if the affair goes to the Olympic level. The point is making Russia play a U.S. domestic issue, say something like a critical infrastructure threat. So that then gives them a legal predicate, according to Benz, and I agree, to say, well, there's a critical infrastructure threat to our elections, so we need to ramp up more censorship of the American people. I mean, this is such a smoking gun.
Oh, absolutely. It's all you wonder what the deep state is. You're looking at it. You're reading the deep state's writings.
This is it.
Here.
And okay, I mean, so it's been covered up forever.
Yes. Now, this guy who wrote this email, I'm not sure even who he wrote it to. I don't see that. But this guy's name is Leonard Bernardo. Okay, so I Googled him again like a minute before it going on.
Okay.
And I Google his name, and it takes me to a website called OpenSocietyFoundations.org.
And that is...
And I go to their leadership page, and the founder's George Soros.
Open Society is
Soros.
Yeah. I mean, it's as the article that's being suppressed sums everything up. The declassified documents, i.e. this email from Bernardo, shows the Democrat National Committee, Hillary Clinton campaign, and George Soros' Open Foundation Society discussing how they could smear Trump while distracting from Democrats' 2016 nominee Clinton's growing corruption scandal. I mean, and then they share this. This is where you find the screenshot that you're looking at, Tom, was embedded in this article. Again, the article, new links emerged between Russia hoax and Biden's censorship regime, will take you to an explanation, and you can see the document yourself, where it very clearly. What?
These are their emails, their documents,
yes,
their words. Everything they said about Trump and the Russia hoax, any third grader could see immediately that it was BS. They didn't ever produce anything.
Nothing.
They just kept saying it over and over and over in the media and in Washington. And so people lapped it up just because they said it. This is not a case of just Pam Bondi or Tulsi saying they said it. It's producing their documents.
Yep. And if you go to my Facebook page, I have it linked. The article is there, tells you to Google it and then put it in DuckDuckGo, because it's just so ironic that an article that goes out of its way to talk about the nefarious activities, who was behind it, the beginning of the Russiagate collusion to hide Hillary's missing emails that she, under subpoena, destroyed, literally with hammers and a program called BleachBit. Okay, so all of that was instituted to distract the American people from her scandal. They decided, well, you know what? This is July 2016. We're going after Trump with Hillary's cooked up scheme. And I mean, so now if you try to get to this article, just to add insult to injury, it is being suppressed. So
Yep.
If you Google that, and it's on my page, you don't have to remember it, just go look. I'm just going to tell you, for example, now I'm telling you that I literally put the exact title and even put the author. And when I did that in Google, this is what I got. I wish I was on the video. Let's see. First thing that comes up is USAID censorship and disinformation operations aimed at the American people. The coming flood of disinformation. The Hunter Biden laptop. A story about Biden. What? So if you literally type in a title of something, shouldn't that be the first result you get?
It should be the first thing.
Yeah. And it is everywhere else but Google. And this is, yeah. So let's play a little clip from Mike Benz, just generally talking about the situation that we're in as a result of the Russiagate hoax. And that's clip number, let's see.
That's 7.
7.
Gate permanently changed the fabric of American society. They totally warped our universities. They all got tens of millions of dollars from the federal government to study the scourge of Russian interference and Russian hacking and Russian influence on social media. Our NGOs got tens of millions of dollars to go after this threat and build resilience and counter strategies and mitigation. We have entire government agencies that exist now because of this hoax. CISA at DHS, the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, was created because of the hoax idea that Russia had hacked the DNC election servers, when we now know that CrowdStrike, who the FBI relied on to make that determination, had no evidence that they did so. And yet we still have CISA getting hundreds of millions of dollars a year from taxpayers to take on a threat that never existed.
Isn't that something? So universities got hundreds of millions, NGOs got hundreds of millions, and we have entire agencies, if you will, that gets all this money and over something that never existed in the first place.
That's right. And we paid for it. It's like
and
we are paying for our own imprisonment and for our own what do you call it when people are hiding information? Not the censorship, but yeah, we're paying to be stupid, basically. We're paying for them to hide the facts from us. Welcome back to Baldy and the Blonde. I'm Michelle Godin, along with Tom Kowitz. Let's just jump right into Judge Janine. What do you say, Tom?
Oh, that's a great clip. Go for it.
She's a lot of fun. So I know everybody on the lefty media always likes, oh, she's a Fox News personality, but she's a former a former Attorney General and a prosecutor of many years, and really a classy and smart lady. But anyway, she's talking about the D.C. Infusion of some federal help, which my understanding is the police union of D.C. was thrilled with the help because they're being overwhelmed by the murders, despite what you hear on Leftyville, which is that, but the crime rates come down. Well, yeah, but from what? Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. So, okay. Please play.
Michelle,
What?
Do me a favor.
Yep.
Can you ask Kobe to play? Because if you play, I don't hear it.
Okay. Can you play clip 3, please, sir? All right. Here we go. He's getting it.
Why now? Because it may be down, but the question is always down from what? If we had the 4th largest highest homicide rate in the country 2 years ago, all of a sudden it goes down. People want to pat themselves on the back? No way. Talk to any of the crime victims. I was just at a college a couple weeks ago where I had photos of young kids who were victims of homicides, of shootings, and it happens over and over again. It's not okay because it's down from last year. It's bad. This is the nation's capital. This is a shining city on the hill. We're not going to tolerate it. People are afraid to come to this city.
Right on, Judge Janine.
Yeah, exactly. When she says down from what? It's like when New Orleans, remember in New Orleans in the early 90s,
Yep.
was over 400.
Yes.
And so then it goes down after that. Okay, so what? It goes down from its peak. Of course it's going to go down from what was its peak. That doesn't mean you don't need help policing.
Well, exactly. So it currently, the murder rate is one of the highest in the world, including Colombia, I believe Bogota, Colombia, just all kinds of, I forgot to get that clip, but they're just really dangerous cities all over the world that Washington, D.C. beats. And how about, this is our country, and we're sick of the disgusting state of every Democrat hellhole city. And may I say, I'm very sorry to say, but New Orleans, get it together. And, what are we going to do? Helena Moreno, she's like left of Stalin. Except less organized, I guess. But she's proud that we're a sanctuary city, meaning we will hold your illegal alien criminals here and refuse to cooperate with ICE. And she's a leading candidate. God help us. But anyway, it's time at least we take back the nation's capital. And look at New York, about to elect a communist and haven't had, crime-free streets since Giuliani. So, I don't know. And I drove to the West Bank yesterday for a funeral, and it was in a very beautiful area of Algiers Point in Old New Orleans. And yet, although that little area was pretty, it was surrounded by, I just had no idea how bad parts of New Orleans are. It is atrocious. I mean, trash in the streets, overgrown lots. I saw one poor man, that one guy in like a 5-block area who was like cutting his grass, putting his trash out. Everybody else, I don't know what you do about that, but something has to happen.
Well, and I know the area you're talking about where there's an oasis of nice neighborhoods, nice homes, everything's fine. But you don't go very far at all, and it's like blight.
But I mean, blight, like you have no idea how those people can live surrounded by what has to, I'm sure high crime areas. So I don't know. I think, like in Germany, if you don't sweep your sidewalk, you get a citation. It's not just they're Germans and they keep their place clean. There's also enforcement of it. And, if you enforce it, then it catches. And besides, we need money. So start fining everybody. And quit taking all the tax dollars from the homeowners, the overburdened, escalating tax bills for the homeowners. Enough, man. Put it on the put it on the renters, Anyway, go ahead.
We have another great clip. Speaking of the policing in Washington D.C., it's one that I found. We haven't even had a chance to discuss it. I hope you were able to listen to it. I included it in the clips.
Yes.
That's the one where the the Washington, D.C. chief of police
Number 8.
does not know the meaning of the term chain of command.
Yes, number 8.
Now, we'll hear the video. I mean, we'll hear the audio, but if you could see the video of it, you can see the look on her face. She is totally stumped. It's not like she didn't hear the question. She totally heard the question. She's stumped by it. So that is clip 8. It's a little hard to understand, so I'm going to read you the transcript after we've listened to it.
Yeah, just again, this is the D.C. chief answering the question about chain of command, which seems to be a term she's never heard.
Oh, okay, wait, before we play it.
Yeah.
The first voice you're going to hear is the reporter.
Yeah.
The second voice you hear is the chief of police, Pamela Smith. And then the mayor swoops in. You're not really going to be able to hear the transition, but it's going to be a different voice when she figures out that the police chief can't answer the question.
Right? She has to try to rescue her.
That's what you're going to hear.
Yeah.
Can you tell us what the chain of command is now?
What does that mean?
Well, is it Pam Bondi speaking to the mayor, speaking to you, or how does this work?
So the executive order is clear.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that last voice was the mayor stepping in. She goes, let me.
Let me help you here, sister, because you don't know.
Oh, yeah. And then the police chief, when the mayor comes in and basically kicks her out, she turns, puts her head down, and just skulks. It's an awesome video to see.
Yeah, really,
What
it's
you hear
worth
there
going to
is-
look at for sure.
Oh, yeah. So the reporter says, can you tell us what the chain of command is now? And the chief says, what does that mean? And the reporter says, well, is it Pam Bondi speaking to the mayor, speaking to you, or how does this work? And the mayor jumps in, let me.
Yes.
And then she basically sweeps the police chief aside and then answers the question.
So that should give you a lot of reassurance for the people of D.C. that your police chief doesn't know the term chain of command.
Chain of command. That doesn't even rise to the level of pathetic. And let me tell you, if you were to write that into a story or screenplay, your
editor
the producer would throw it out saying, like, well, no chief in the history of the universe has ever been so stupid and ignorant as to not know the term chain of command. And yet,
it's shocking.
and
Yet
there it
not.
is. Like, can we play that again? It's only 13 seconds.
Yeah,
Let me hear
play it one more time, please. Number 8.
Can you tell us what the chain of command is now?
What does that mean?
Well, is it Pam Bondi speaking to the mayor, speaking to you, or how does this work?
So the executive order is clear.
So you kind of have to listen for the let me, but she just jumps in, let me, and then just kicks the police chief out.
That's it.
And because that's just an embarrassment.
It's terrible.
Chief of police, the janitor at the police station knows what chain of command means.
Of course. All right, so I don't know if this is a good time to switch gears to some shocking developments regarding what is being referred to as turbo cancers in people who receive the COVID. They call it a vaccine, but it's an mRNA experimental shot. What do you think? Good time to do
Well,
it?
remember, yeah, go for it. But remember, they even called it gene therapy in their own document.
Yeah, they did.
They called it gene therapy.
They sure did. So let's roll with clip number 5. This is a clip from the Cheryl Atkinson show, and it's well, just go ahead and listen. Clip 5.
Well, she's interviewing Peter McCullough.
No, she's not on this part. I know you.
Oh.
Yeah, she's not.
Okay,
so
never mind.
It's a different doctor.
I'll shut up.
That's okay. 5.
What should people be concerned about with what you found? If someone's had COVID vaccines, what would be their concern?
If any of your family members come down with an unexplained cancer, get a pathologist involved to get a slide or a sample so that the people who are studying this can begin to look for whether there's vaccine sequence in there. So we have a person who had 4 Pfizer vaccines, and then a year after that came down with a colon cancer, and there were 3 biopsies taken, 2 before death and 1 after. The person died of this diagnosis within 30 days. Those samples were then, we used a tool called PCR to look for the Pfizer's vaccine sequence, and then resorted to a process known as voluminous sequencing to sequence the tissue to see if there's any Pfizer sequence in there, and there is. And shockingly, there's a lot of it, and that was not expected. The only way that happens is if it got into the cells and amplified and started replicating.
Yep. So what you actually have are cancers with the vaccine materials inside of them, which is not expected.
Yeah.
Very strange.
Was not expected. Now,
And
that was Dr. Peter McCullough, right?
no, that was not. But McCullough has a
It wasn't.
very distinctive voice. He's on that show.
Oh, okay. Thank you
But
for
that's not
correcting
him.
me.
And I right off the top of my head, I don't remember which doctor that was, but you can look up Cheryl Atkinson, Atkisson. Peter McCullough is on that show, but that particular doctor, I don't remember
Okay.
his name right now. And,
All
and
right.
he's the same guy that comes up in the next clip. So, but we don't, let's see, this next clip is kind of long. Yeah, we can't do this one. We'll do this one when we come back. But you know, the shocking thing, and I don't know if how much people understand what the mRNA COVID vaccines were, but a normal vaccine, they'll give a dead piece of a virus and inject it into you, and it doesn't present any risk to you because it's dead, and your body then, however, will produce immune response so that when you encounter the live virus in real life, well, it's supposed to stop you from getting it. This bizarre thing about the COVID vaccine was that you were injected with, without getting into all the scientific words, basically your body was told to make the spike protein, which is the thing that gives you the COVID. So your body became a mass producing agent of the COVID-19 virus. I mean, it's insane, but so they're finding these spike proteins, which were supposed to stay localized where the shot was given, like your arm or your butt. And unfortunately, they're reproducing madly, and they're all over your body. And on that happy note, we will be taking a break and coming back. We are Baldy and the Blonde, baldyandtheblonde.com. Welcome back to Baldy and the Blonde. I'm Michelle Godin, along with Tom Coates here every Wednesday at 4. Tom is calling in remote today. We were and have been talking about COVID and the vaccines and some recently revealed side effects. And I want to make sure to mention that there are some new websites available for you to check out. VAERS, which is the volunteer reporting system, which was supposed to track adverse events as a result of the vaccine, but it's voluntary. They have some pretty alarming stuff if you want to check it out. VAERS. Google it, and I think it's VAERS.org, but I don't want to say for sure. And the other one is the White House COVID site. Radically different than what it was before.
Boy, is it. I looked at it just for a hot minute, and it was shocking. It looks like a Baldy and the Blonde conspiracy theory.
It really does. But they're well sourced, and they give you the Tom, if you can give us the exact site. I don't have it, but you can just Google White House COVID website.
I'll find it.
Anyway, so we have a couple of more clips on COVID, and then we'll go to something else. But if we could now please play Sir clip number 6.
Myocardial infarction, or a heart attack, rose 269% in a 10-month period from January to November of 2021, from 612 cases to 1,650.
Wow.
Pericarditis rose 175% from
Wait, can we pause
589
that?
Yeah, can you
cases.
pause that, please? Yeah, go ahead, Tom.
Okay, so sorry, but we didn't properly and fully set that up.
We did not.
Remember,
it's the military. Yeah, go ahead.
He's talking about the military, and these are reliable, much more reliable numbers than the VAERS, because the VAERS is voluntary, and it's not limited to doctors who can report. The military is only doctors can report to this. And what we're hearing, the statistics here, is specifically military personnel, Department of Defense personnel.
And it's really important because, in contrast to the voluntary reporting system that most doctors didn't do, because it takes an hour of their time that they don't have, and it wasn't mandated, but the military was mandated to keep track of what happened to healthy young people and other people in the military who had the COVID vaccine. And it's pretty incredible. Okay, so we're going to start over because pay attention. These are the only mandated tracking of the results of the COVID vaccine in the military population.
Myocardial infarction, or a heart attack, rose 269% in a 10-month period from January to November of 2021, from 612 cases to 1,650. Pericarditis rose 175% from 589 cases to 1,029. Myocarditis rose 285% from 127 cases to 363. Pulmonary embolisms rose 467% from 746 cases to 3,489. Cerebral infarction, Bell's palsy, immunodeficiencies, ITP, menstrual irregularity, MS, neoplasms, non-traumatic subarachnoid hemorrhage, spontaneous abortion, all rose at least 250% or higher.
Wow.
Some cases, 350%. Disseminated intravascular coagulation, a rare and serious condition that disrupts your blood flow due to a blood clotting disorder that can turn into uncontrollable bleeding, rose 1,175% from 7 to 87 documented incidents. HIV, often leads to AIDS, rose 590% from 454 cases to 2,681. Chest pain, which averaged 4,892 reported incidents from 2016 to 2020, rose 1,529% to 74,813 individuals.
Wow.
Dyspnea, which is difficult or labored breathing, rose 905% from 4,968 to 44,990.
No small matter.
That's a Frankenstein's monster that got away. They couldn't control it.
That's a great way to put it. It really is. It's, and people certainly did not give informed consent. They had no idea. And in the military, I've seen the videos of them like holding guys down to give it to them. Just horrific.
By
horrific.
the way,
yeah.
So I did find the White House website, the easiest way to find it, because of course that's kind of a long URL. If you just Google, and actually Google doesn't suppress it, if you just put in whatever search engine you use, just put in White House COVID website. That's all you got to put in.
Yep.
It'll come right up.
And Tom, the military,
yep.
The military thing that we just played, the video of do you have the source for that? I know it was an interview of a guy who had,
Oh, okay. So I don't have the source for that, but I do have in our show notes. Let me see if I can get to that real quick. I did some stuff late last night.
That's okay. We can put it in the show notes. That's all right.
It's okay, but and you're right. You go ahead, but I wanted to let you know that the documents, it is the military DoD document, and a lot of those things were cited in a letter from Senator Ron Johnson to I think somebody in the DoD. I'm not sure. Just showing him all these percentages that we just heard, and then plenty of others. So this is stuff that's all on the record. It's been testified in the Senate.
Right.
It's in the DoD documents themselves.
And, so when you see these crazy people, how dare RFK question the vaccines? Well, because, it's about time. And nobody's telling you what you have to do. You can take all the vaccines you want, Mr. Lefty.
Precisely.
But the idea that we're going to mandate experimental vaccines is insane. And by the way, those vaccines they are still being used by emergency use authorization, which shields them from liability. And when Pfizer came out with Comirnaty, which was their official vaccine, they never released it. They're still using the EUA. And that's so that they can avoid paying lawsuits for people who are injured because of an alleged emergency. What emergency, right? So,
right.
So
well, and you know what? Along the way, they tried to give the appearance that it was no longer under that emergency authorization, but they never got out from under it. They with the media's help, finagled their way to give that appearance, but they never actually did that.
Okay, I'm going to play something real quick. I'm going to roll out on this. This is testimony. It's totally different topic, but it's just so fascinating. About Ted Bundy and one of his last attempts to kill people and a rosary. Do we have time? We do not. 95 seconds this thing takes, and we only have 52 left. Man, damn it.
That's all right. We'll get to it next week. Oh, by the way, here's that letter. It's from Ron Johnson to Lloyd Austin, who was Secretary of Defense.
Yeah, complaining about all the I mean, and to think that those are the only statistics we have and they're alarming, you know it's worse than the general population because generally speaking, your military is comprised of more fit individuals than the general American population. And yet they have these horrific results. Well, y'all, we are Baldy and the Blonde. We're here every Wednesday at 4. And you can check us out on baldyandtheblonde.com where all of our shows are repeated, commercial free.